back to the channel. As you guys can see, we're in the truck today. And today we're going to be headed up to Troutman, North Carolina. It's between Mooresville and Statesville. And we're going to head up there to go pick up some oiling mods for the Corvette. You guys will know that we've had various oil parts on the Corvette. It's a Z51 car, so it does have an external oil cooler. Well, oil cooler that's tied into the radiator, but basically what we'll be doing today is picking up some additional parts for that and to help, finish out that project. You guys will already know that we did the ZR1 bumper. We've been started on that. I'm not sure if it's complete by the time this video's come up. But yeah, as part of that project is, we want to get a oil cooler up front and a trans cooler up front as well. One on driver, one on passenger side. And we'll be using those NASCAR coolers, to cool down the oil. Alright guys, as you saw, we just crossed the lake again, and actually that was the river. That was the Catawba River. I don't think technically we're at Lake Norman just yet, but the Lake Norman begins, soon after that. But yeah, so the guy actually was a autocross road race guy. He had a C5 Corvette that he was parting out. He basically had built it for I believe he called it a STU class in autocrossing. I'm not really sure. I have been autocrossing in forever, but yeah, so it was C5 road race car, and so we ended up buying some parts from him, and we'll go over that when we get home. But yeah, so that was actually pretty cool. The guy was pretty nice. I saw the guy make a post about the parts that he had on our local Facebook autocross group, and yeah, so that's kind of how we ended up meeting up. So, but yeah, like I said, we got the part. We're gonna head home. Before we head home, we're actually going to go ahead and go get some dinner and then head home. So we'll pick this up when we're done with all that. Alright guys, we're back in the shop, and this is what we ended up picking up. As you guys can see, this is a oil cooler attachment from Improved Racing. Now you guys will remember that we have a bunch of their products on the Corvette. Actually, we got the crank scraper, the baffle, we have the oil pickup tube brace. Found this from C5 guy, like I was saying, and it's basically what we need. It's the EGM 112, and this will basically take the place of the Z51 cooling package that we have on the car. You guys might remember, I'm not sure if I filmed a video on that, but I had actually the Z51 oil cooling lines. I actually ended up having to replace that like 5 or 6 years ago because the rubber it either had a slice in it or something happened on it, but I was getting an oil leak from the oil cooler. So we replaced that with a new one a few years ago, but since we're going fully aftermarket with this oil cooling system, wanted pretty much the best that you could get, and Improved Racing is really well known in the road course community as well as other, drifting, whatever. They obviously have a lot of LS parts. So yeah, like I was saying, I got this from the C5 guy, and I just paid up $100 for this. These are gonna be about $250 give or take on the price on these, so saving $150 isn't a bad thing. So this will go on the side of the block, and this will eventually connect to the NASCAR oil coolers that we've got right here. Now this does have a thermostatic switch in it. This is, I believe the guy had a 180-degree setup on it. So this will open up at 180 degrees and will allow oil to flow out to the cooler. I don't think there's any oil in it. The guy did have some rags on it. Yeah, it looks pretty cleared out. I don't see anything in here, but yeah, so there's a thermostatic switch inside here, and you guys will see, actually, as you guys can see, there's a sensor hot 1/8 NPT. Basically, the C5 Corvettes, that's what this is off of. They have a external sensor that they plug in for the oil sensor temp. We're gonna take that off, and it's simply a 1/8 inch NPT plug. So we'll just put some thread sealant on that, plug that off, because like I said, it's one extra sensor that we're not going to need. I think we might have to order some new fittings for the NASCAR coolers, because as you guys can see, this is a Dash 10 on the oil cooler, and these are a Dash 8, I believe. Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll need a Dash 8 for that. So not a big deal, just 2 more fittings, and it's probably just gonna be an ORB fitting. Now in regards to oil cooling lines and all that, I think I'm gonna have those made at the shop where we actually picked up the NASCAR coolers from. And that is SRI Performance up in Mooresville. And from what I was reading, they will actually make you custom lines. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get some like stainless braided or PTFE lines. I'm not really sure which material we're gonna use, but I basically want to get a line that has pre-crimped ends on it, and then it just ends on a Dash 10 or fitting or whatever. I've made lines in the past, and they are easy to make. But for this being an oil cooler, you know, the motor's dependent on it, I kind of want something a little bit more professional than a DIY kit. I'm sure the DIY oil cooler lines would be fine, but I basically just need to see what tools they have available at the SRI Performance, and see how much the lines will cost. Because, you know, the hose isn't that expensive. The Dash 10 wouldn't be that super expensive, but once you start getting into, you know, fittings and crimp connectors and all that stuff, you could easily double the price of what you paid for the hose. And if I can just go ahead and buy a line that's Dash 10 on both ends, has a 90 on one end, and you know, probably a straight fitting on the other, I can't imagine it being that expensive. So that might end up actually being cheaper than buying the fittings, buying the lines and the hose, and doing that myself. So alright guys, so that's actually it for today's video. Shouldn't be too long. You know, I just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction of what our plan is for the oil cooling system, with utilizing that 01 bumper, the NASCAR oil coolers, as well as using the new improved racing block fitting, if that's what we want to call that, and connecting all that together. So not too complex, pretty simple, and kind of like the one thing I was saying, I will take that sensor off and just take it out because we don't need it with the C6 application. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to see more Corvette content, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. And if you guys want to help support the channel, I should have some links down to the improved racing product. I should be able to find that online for you, so we'll have that link down below. And make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Thanks guys. Have a great one.